Hello world, welcome to Event Log, a weekly bite-sized vlog where we cover the latest happenings in tech within 4 segments, sponsored by Team Logic IT, North San Antonio, your local IT provider, nationwide experience, and brainpower. Okay, segment 1, tech this out, here we go again. Let's do our legit transition. Boom. Look at that, that's cute. We covered several robots within the last few episodes. This one's not too different, but this one has his very own article written about him. Maybe it's a she, who knows, or it. But I guess it's a he. Mr. Trash Wheel. This is a water-powered and solar-powered backup machine or robot that cleans up garbage and stuff in the water. I believe this is in Baltimore. So, the thoughts on this is the future will be very much roboticized, if that's a word, and I think that's definitely a net benefit for humanity. People will argue, well, if robots do end up doing everything, then what are humans going to be left to do? And don't get it twisted. This robot requires several people to manage and maintain it. So even, robots and devices that you think, oh wow, well, if it's doing things that humans would normally do, then humans are going to be left with nothing to do. But in fact, devices like this one, you can see that there's plenty of machinery there involved. All sorts of, I'm sure, complicated and complex engineering tools that make it all work. And those all need humans to manage. Maybe we can complain once it's only machines upkeeping and managing machines, but I think we're very far away from that future. Rather, reality. I don't think it's anywhere in sight, but this is great. This is cool, and the eyeballs are cute. That's definitely neat. All right, moving on to segment 2, hack attack. There have been several breaches that have gotten, nationwide coverage or worldwide coverage. There was the pipeline, the oil pipeline or gas pipeline that was breached, but then there was also the meat packing facility or what do you want to call it, network, if you want to call it that, was breached. But there was also this one that happened last month, so 2 weeks ago-ish. At least that's when it was reported. So Canada Post discusses how there was a supplier data breach, which means a third party, not Canada Post themselves, but a third party that exchanges and interchanges data with them. This data isn't necessarily sensitive, like it's not financial data, but it's contact data. So what can happen here is the attackers have accumulated a large database of data that ties an entity with contact information. So whether it's an address or an email or even a phone number, this is all information that can then be used to, try committing these social engineering attacks to then inject ransomware into networks, computers, devices, servers, and all that. So this data breach isn't as concerning as a ransomware attack would be. Still very concerning because, try as they might, Canada Post they have their own internal operations and protocols to avoid breaches, but if their third parties aren't doing their best to manage their own internal operations and operational security, then it's all for naught. Not to say that you shouldn't be doing your utmost to protect information in your keep, but there do need to be considerations of the people that you work with, the third parties that you involve yourself with. Are they following legitimate operational security practices? Otherwise, any information you give to them might become, public information. And typically it's not in the hands of the people that you'd like it to be. So, yeah, not good. Third parties are quite often the weakest link to your internal operations. All right, now into Millibyte, our third segment, where we look at interesting tidbits in the tech universe. I don't think tech is any longer a small phenomenon. Clearly, technology has integrated. I don't want to say the word takeover because that has negative implications. I'm going to say integrated itself into our you know, world human experience. Anyway, let's not get philosophical. It's too early for that, and there's not enough time in these episodes for that. Google hires goats to mow its lawn. This was a 2009 article. I found it just out there somehow. Low carbon solution. So Google has been worrying about its carbon footprint for a while. Clearly, they used goats instead of machines to do their lawn. I don't know how much lawn. Let's see. I heard it brings about 200 goats, and they spend roughly a week at Google. I'm assuming Google, like the campus in California. I'm not even sure where they're headquartered or where that Google, campus is located. But I'm sure it's massive. 200 goats, that's a lot. And I'm sure you get to pet them, and I'm sure you get to do goat yoga. If you've never heard of goat yoga, look it up. I think they step on your back. Interesting. I mean, better than a person stepping on your back. So, cool. That's Millibyte. Now you know. I don't know. This is 2009, the article. So, I don't know if this practice is still done there. But for sure, it happened. And that's your Millibyte. Alright. Now to the crypto corner. Thailand bans joke currencies. Or cryptocurrencies. I don't know what to think about this one. This is interesting. There's 4 types of cryptocurrencies that they're trying to ban here, and I'm gonna tell you why they're trying to ban it, and why it's not an outright ban per se. And I'll get to that here shortly. Sorry, needed to lubricate the brain with some caffeine. Meme tokens is the first, characterized as having no clear purpose, no underlying value, whose prices fluctuate due to social media commentary. You know what? I'm gonna discuss each of the 4 points, or each of the 4 tokens. There is no such thing as a thing without value. Everything that exists in a universe has relative value. I think it's a bit of a misnomer. It's a bit of a fallacy to say that anything that does exist doesn't have value. Everything is relative, depending on where you are. If you have a bucket of water that's potable in the Sahara Desert, someone's going to pay you millions of dollars to drink that if they're dying of thirst. Everything is relative. You can't say that a technology that allows you to move value in a decentralized fashion has no value, even if it's a meme token, even if it doesn't have the same security underpinnings that Bitcoin has, such as Dogecoin. It still has value. I won't say that the value should be equivocal to Bitcoin. Let the market decide that, but arguably there is some value there, even if, the fundamentals aren't parallel to Bitcoin. Now, the second thing here, fan tokens that exist only due to fame of influencers. This one's also perplexing. Any token, any cryptocurrency that has the backing of an influencer, or that represents some sort of stake in the influencer's work, I think that's extremely valuable. I don't think that's something you take lightly. I think the future, we've already seen it with Patreon, with the social media movement, or the movement in general to allow individuals to express themselves online, create their own online, what's the best way to say it? They exist online, and they have their takes, they have their content that they make. That presence that's online is worth something, and if people can pay to own a part of that, or to fund projects and use these tokens as, I guess I want to say derivatives, or as like a security type of thing, I think that's totally fine. Let the market price that out, and let it be fair, and let it be, just let it be. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs, I'm just going to say those are in the similar vein, whereas a fan token represents the entity that is the content creator, the NFT represents the actual object, like the art piece or the music that they make. I don't think that you should interchange NFTs with fan tokens. I think there is some interplay there, and I think the platforms that are going to host either one of them is going to have immense value, whichever one ends up winning out, whether it's Ethereum or any of these other competitors that are out there. Let them compete. And lastly, the fourth one, this thing here about tokens issued by digital asset exchanges or related persons. Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the other two. I think it's strange that a government is trying to tell you what is and isn't valuable in the technology space, where this technology is clearly doing something groundbreaking, where we are able to transact value without an intermediary or in a decentralized fashion that is data. I mean, I think this is going to be as, what's the best way to put it? This is going to be Napster all over again. Napster was pretty groundbreaking in what it was doing. I'm not going to say that I advocate for piracy or that I condone the piracy that was happening, but the reason why Napster created this worldwide movement, of streaming, is because we saw that governments or entities tried to shut down a centralized form of exchanging data, whether it was music or movies or whatever, and then we saw a decentralized manifestation of what Napster was doing in the peer-to-peer technologies that is known as torrenting. Once torrenting came about, there was no getting that cat out of the bag. Or rather, once Napster showed up, there was no getting the cat, putting the cat back into the bag. It was torrenting and streaming and all this stuff that started to proliferate because of the peer-to-peer technology. So you stamped out the centralized form of sharing information and data, and now we have a decentralized fashion or decentralized form in peer-to-peer technologies. And now cryptocurrency has created a financial, a financial foundation or a financial platform for this peer-to-peer technology. So it's just this peer-to-peer technology that is starting to take shape in the more meaningful forms, that is money. Once you have money that is operating in this peer-to-peer fashion without any centralized entity needing to verify the transactions, the sky's the limit. This is why crypto is so fascinating. That's why it has its very own section. And we always save it best for last, of course. And I think that's going to wrap it up. Let's not go on for too long here. Again, this event log. Yes, we have to remember the name of the program that we're running here. Event log brought to you by Team Logic IT, your bite-sized tech talk in 4 segments. See you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.